You're listening to SaskScapes, a podcast featuring the stories of arts, culture, and heritage in Saskatchewan. I'm Kevin Power, and it's a good thing that there are no rules as to how much you can laugh in a podcast, because this time we don't hold back. Kindersley, Saskatchewan has discovered the secret to longevity, and who knew that that secret came in the form of square dancing? The Whirls and Twirls are tearing up the dance floor each week, keeping in shape, showing their moves, and sharing in each other's company. And if this podcast is any indication of how much fun they are, then sign me up. I invite you to join some of the most delightful folks I've had the pleasure to meet as we do-si-do through the stories of Saskatchewan and their love of square dancing. And wait till you hear a possible new use for horses and tractors. But not together. Oh, most definitely not together. Here we are in Kindersley, and I am surrounded by 15 shining smiles and faces. First thing on a Saturday morning as the rain starts. So I'm going to go around the circle first of all so we can find out who everybody is. And we're going to start with Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
You're Mary.
Yes, I am.
And Mary, are you from Kindersley?
Beg your pardon?
Are you from Kindersley?
I am.
Are you? You grew up here?
Not in Kindersley, in a small town called LaPorte.
Okay, but
a long time ago.
But you've been here a while.
Since 1990.
Oh, since 1990. Okay, that's a good kick at the can. And next to Mary, we have
Pat Campbell.
Pat, and are you from Kindersley originally?
I was born here.
Where are you?
Mm-hmm. I've lived all my life except for about 10 years in this area.
Right. And you're just happy to stay here for good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's home.
Good. Home is home. And next we have
Earl Campbell.
Earl Campbell, and you're from
Kindersley as well.
Yeah, you grew up here.
Yes.
You went to school here.
Yes.
Was Eleanor one of your teachers?
Nope.
She's not that old.
No. She's younger than that.
Okay. We already know Eleanor from a previous podcast. Next we have
Sharon Dales.
You are Sharon, and you're not Kevin after all.
No, I'm not
Right,
Kevin.
right.
But it's a very nice name.
Why, thank you. And Sharon, you're originally from Alberta.
Hannah, Alberta, yeah.
Right, from Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you come to Saskatchewan?
Oh, 1972.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you've been here a while.
I've been here longer than I was in Alberta. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is home.
Yeah. We live on a farm north of Kindersley, and
right.
it's home
Good.
for
Excellent.
41 years. So.
For 41 years. Mm-hmm. You must love the farm life.
Yeah.
Not an easy life. Now, have you already been up this morning milking cows?
Oh, no, we don't milk
Oh, you don't? Okay.
anymore.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Oh, you used to. And next we have
Marvin.
Of course we do. Marvin was one of my first contacts. And Marvin, you grew up where?
I grew up at Colville, just
north
of Kindersley.
Yeah. Right.
But I've been here my whole life.
On a farm as well.
Yeah.
You two must know each other.
We met before. This isn't the first time.
What are the chances you'd have the same last name, too? And that you and I would have the same name.
Go figure.
Next, we have...
Oh, Edna Clark.
Good, you're still Edna.
Yes.
You've all been changing seats on me. Not you, you've always stayed. Edna, you're originally from where?
I am from Rosetown.
Oh, right, good old Rosetown.
On the farm.
Right. And how long have you lived in Kindersley?
since after the war. Well, let's see, 46.
Oh, this is home.
This is home.
You're staying.
Well, we farmed out at Driver, a little town north of here,
Right. But you've been living in Kindersley proper for a while.
since 85.
All right. And you're staying here.
I am.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I live over at Caleb Village.
Oh, yes. I see Mary's got a
Yes.
Caleb Village name tag on.
Yep, she
doesn't
lives
she?
there too.
Right, right. Okay, and then next we have
Ruth.
Ruth.
Etzel
Ruth Etzel. And you're originally from where?
from Estuary,
Oh, yes.
Saskatchewan.
Right. And how long have you lived in Kindersley?
I've just lived here for 7 years.
Oh, you're the newcomer.
I come from Colville.
Oh, right. Right. You come from away, as they say.
Colville, yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right. And next we have
Gladys McIntyre.
good old Gladys McIntyre. And Gladys, you're related to... Who was it that I knew that? Oh, no, that's you, Edna. You are the aunt of Gladys McCarthy. Right. And the world gets smaller and smaller. But Gladys, you are originally from Kindersley?
Well, I've been living at Brock, Eston,
Right.
and then came up here now.
Eston got hit with a really bad storm a while back, huh?
Is that right? I think
Did they? Was it Eston that got hit?
so.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
So how long have you been in Kindersley?
5 years.
Oh, you're even newer.
That's right.
Are you also at Caleb Village?
Caleb Village.
All right, okay.
When it opened.
We should have all met over at Caleb Village even. Next we have
Nada Murray
Nada, my other contact. And Nada, you're originally from where?
from Roblin, Manitoba.
Oh, from Manitoba. The other side.
Yeah, the other side.
How long have you been in Kindersley?
In Kindersley, 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We lived after we got married, we were in Moose Jaw, and then we moved here 30 years ago.
Right.
So.
Excellent. And then we have...
I'm her other half. Vern.
Vern, the other half.
Same last name.
Not a coincidence.
Not a coincidence.
Did you grow up in Kindersley?
I know I grew up in Roblin, Manitoba, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
That's
yes.
probably where you guys met.
Yeah, around there, yeah.
Right. And then you dragged her back here?
I did, yes.
Right.
I worked around the province, so I've...
Did you say that's about right? Oh, that explains the handcuffs between the two of you there.
Kicking and screaming.
You've calmed down a little bit.
You can edit that.
Oh, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep that in. Okay, and next we have...
Ken Sawatsky.
Yes, you are. Ken Sawatsky and not Ken Forte. And Ken, you're originally from where?
I'm from Brock.
Are you?
I am.
Right, Brock, Manitoba.
Saskatchewan.
I'm kidding. And how long have you lived in Kindersley?
I have not lived in Kindersley. I lived farmed at Brock for 50, 60 years. Well, maybe I shouldn't exaggerate. I'll just use 50.
Round it off. But how long have you lived here in Kindersley?
I have never
you're
lived.
not?
No,
Oh.
I drive in from Brock.
Oh, you do?
Or
Still.
like this morning, I drove in from Rosetown.
All right. And last night you were in Saskatoon.
And last night I was in Saskatoon.
You don't stay in one place very long, do you?
Not if I can help it.
That's good. And I think this lady sitting next to you happen to know.
I do. You do.
Right.
I do. Yeah.
You do. Well, I'm about to know. And this is your wife?
No, not really.
Not really. Oh. Are you pulling my leg? You really are.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Oh, but you both you were in Saskatoon dancing last night.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, okay. And you are?
Jane LeBrac from Rosetown.
Oh, okay. Right. Eleanor Smith. It's so lovely to see you again.
Oh, thank you. You were asking someone if I was their teacher, and the answer to that is I taught their children, some of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, no. Quite a few.
And I've been able to verify since the podcast I did with you that people do in fact call you Granny, that you weren't just making that up, which is absolutely wonderful. Your podcast has gotten great reception. People are thrilled to hear your story, as am I. So thanks again for doing that. And who knew that you were also part of this mischievous crowd as well?
I definitely am.
You're everywhere.
No.
And then next we have the lady I was stalking behind her car in my car coming up to the house.
Francis Swan.
Francis, are you from Kindersley originally?
15 years originally. Smiley.
From Smiley.
In the area, 67 years.
Right. Smiley's been well represented thanks to Bill Warrington, who's taken me all over Smiley.
But yes, there's lots to see out there.
Right. I have seen much of it, except not the Great Wall of Saskatchewan, unfortunately. Oh. We ran out of time. I know. That's the one landmark.
It's still there.
I know. There's actually a lot of information about it on the internet, including pictures.
Oh, yes.
I feel like I've been there already. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, afterwards we got to remind me to talk to you about your project, the slides. All right, so that's everybody, and now I've forgotten all of your names. No. I'll remember as many as I can, but I'll ask you from time to time who's speaking to me. So, the main reason why I wanted to get you all together is because you are part of a really well-known group here in Kindersley called the Whirls Twirls. And normally you wouldn't be meeting at this time of the year. You've all sort of taken a break for the summer, yes? However, I feel honored that you've joined me just for this occasion to record some of your stories. Who founded the Whirls and Twirls? Hey, it's Kevin. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Just a quick reminder that the SaskScapes podcast is available for free on your favorite podcast app, or you can stream it from your browser. Check out the show notes for the link. On the SaskScapes homepage, you'll notice something new under the logo called SaskScapes Plus. You can't miss it. There's a big button saying support with a heart icon next to it. I'd love it if you could click on that button and help keep this podcast series going. When SaskScapes launched in May 2014, it was the first podcast in the province celebrating arts, culture, and heritage. In fact, you'd have been pretty hard-pressed to find any Saskatchewan podcasts. So I'd like to think that we paved the way. It's been because of your support that this podcast is now in its 9th year. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
I think it was back in 1955, I think. Mm-hmm. There was a couple in town here called Sadie and Jack Swallow.
Now, would they have been related to Kathleen Swallow that I spoke with you?
I'm sure. Yeah. And this couple, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
they owned the Imperial Oil or some oil company, and they delivered oil to everybody, all the farms.
Okay. So they were probably the originating founders?
Yeah, I remember him coming out one day with a load of, not her, just him. Mm-hmm. She did most of the work. Jack did the talking. Uh-huh. And he had seen square dancing somewhere, and he thought Kindersley was ready for a square dance club.
Oh, there hadn't been a square dancing club before. But there must have been square dancing in Kindersley. I mean, wasn't that something that you would have grown up with?
No. Just in school.
Oh.
Some of the teachers taught. And this was a teacher who started teaching the group of us, the adults, like.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. So you were one of the first people to join.
A long time ago. In 55, maybe somebody, I don't think anybody's very close. They're a long way behind me.
Right. So are you probably the oldest member of the group then? Yeah. Not in years, but in the time you've been involved in the group.
In everything.
Well, I don't want to age you. I don't want to presume you're the oldest person in the room. Maybe you are.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
May I ask what year you were born? You can decline.
21.
You can lie. Were you in 1921? No.
Yes, I was.
You were born in 1921?
Yes.
On January 1st.
But that's not possible because my
But
dad
it
was
is.
born in 23 and that would make him 91, which would make you 93.
Yeah.
You look incredible
Well,
for
thank
93.
you.
I would not have guessed that in a million years. And I'm not just saying that.
Well, thank you.
To what do you attribute your longevity and looking so great at
Hard work, I guess. And square dancing.
and square dancing? Right. Well, I guess we'll talk about that because that's obviously one of the benefits
Yeah,
in
that's
staying
right.
active.
Yeah.
I can honestly say not many 93-year-olds are that physically active.
Well, that's because they didn't square dance as long.
So who knew that the secret of life is square dancing?
We all do.
Clearly you do. All right. So that's sort of how the group founded. But what happened to get you to this size? Am I seeing basically everybody, or are you an even larger group than this?
Oh, throughout the year, there used to be 200 of us.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the numbers change?
Yeah. Some people found out they have to go to bed at night if they work the next day.
Oh, am I standing in a room full of party animals? Is that what this is? Do you guys give the Grilled Cheesapalooza Festival a run for their money as far as the hours they stay up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's how the group started. And then who were sort of some of the early folks that joined that are sitting here? Oh, Fran? Okay, so Fran came along. When did you join the group?
1957.
1957. Wow. And you had heard that this was happening?
Well, every little town had a little group that started up, and I started originally in Smiley, and then in 57, I belonged to Smiley and to Kindersley.
Right.
And so then my husband and I went about 5 times a week till all the dances in the country, because there was one in every little town, plus the largest one was Kindersley.
What was it about square dancing that attracted you? I mean, there's lots of dancing styles out there. What was it about square dancing then?
It was just the friendship, and everybody was so friendly, and your friends weren't made over a bottle, you know.
Oh,
like
right.
There was no liquor allowed, and it was just great, and we just traveled all over.
Is it still that way? Is it still a dry activity, as they say?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess you have to keep your wits about you, huh? Because somebody's calling out. Somebody's calling. You gotta be able to be sober enough to listen.
Yes, well, that was really wonderful, and we traveled for miles, you know.
Oh, you would take the group and travel?
Oh, travel together, and we'd go to Cypress Hills or Saskatchewan.
And you would travel to join up with other groups?
Yeah, just be there and dance with them and go home. Yes, we'd travel all over.
So was there sort of an exclusive club you belonged to, where no matter where you traveled, if you hooked up with another square dancing group, you had instant friends, sort of thing?
You were all friends.
Right.
Everybody took the same lessons and they all knew how to do it.
Right. So tell me, who had sort of really started green and had to take lessons? Who had the hardest time being convinced that they should do this? You did? Oh, yeah. Okay. Marvin, you had the hardest time being convinced? Why? This was like a really nerdy thing to do, or what?
No, just that's who I am, I guess.
Right. Dancing.
Yeah.
Who needs that, right? Who convinced you? Who strong-armed you? You're pointing to your wife.
Yes, I'm pointing to my wife.
How? So what convinced you?
Well, I've always danced all my life. In the community we were in, they had dances every other Friday all winter. And in the dances, they called square dances.
The famous Hannah dances.
Spondon, actually, but nobody's heard of that. So, yeah, so I don't know, it was just a really big part of my whole family's life. We always danced. And
So you didn't say to Marvin, listen, if you want to get hitched, there's one little deal we have to make. Dance or you're out of here. No. So you led him along, and what got you hooked, Marvin? I mean, how long did it take you to get hooked?
Oh, about 5 minutes.
Oh, really? So you were a square dancing pushover.
Yeah, actually.
Right. Did it take you that long to get hooked on your wife when you first met her? Did you?
Oh, no, I wasn't a pushover there.
Oh.
She really had to work for this.
Okay, this is one of the most profound questions I'm going to ask. Was the work worth it?
Well, sure.
Good. Because the recorder's on, you've got to say, wait till I turn it on. Edit, right. Okay, who else? So you had a hard time being convinced.
I never danced before.
Ever.
So
how long did it take you to convince you? And who convinced you?
my hubby.
Oh, your hubby convinced you.
Yes. So I've been dancing since 1961.
And how long did it take you before you thought, yep, I'm really going to like this?
Well, it was quite a while before the butterflies quit.
Right. Because everybody looked like they knew what they were doing, right?
No, we had to take lessons.
Oh, you did. But it's a lot to remember, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Right. I mean, you just don't stand there and bop up and down to the music.
That's right.
There's a routine to be learned.
Yes.
Right. Anybody else have a hard time being led to this thing called square dancing? You all took to it pretty quickly. Who's the newest member of the group? Who's the person that's most recently to join among all of you?
Am I?
You and Gladys.
Ken and Gladys?
Marvin and Sharon, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Really? How many? When did you join?
You guys.
When did you join up with them?
2002.
Oh, but that's still quite a while ago, really.
Yeah.
So you've all been at this. So tell me about what you. Well, let's start with talking about how it is you get together. You have a season. Is that how it works? Where you'll begin? Will you all begin to meet regularly starting in September next month? Or
End of September.
end of September. Yeah. And how often do you meet?
Twice a month.
Our club dances on second and fourth Thursdays
Second
of the month.
and fourth Thursdays. Okay. And so when you get together, what's that like? Do you start off by having supper together, or do you just? How formal is the meeting? Do you all?
Well, our regular dances start at 8 usually.
Okay. And are there lessons before if somebody wanted to join? Do they hold lessons before those dances, or do you?
Well, normally we would have a separate night for lessons,
All right.
so that those come to our regular dances. We'll start at 8:00 and dance
Until
10:30.
what? Oh, till 10:30. And you right? Well, and who's teaching? Who here teaches? You guys do.
Yeah, we do.
So Marvin, you really went kicking and screaming into this. Took you 5 minutes to get hooked, and now you're teaching.
Yeah.
Okay, so then at this point, we need words of wisdom from you. What would you say to the male listener out there whose wife's listening, saying, "We should do this, honey," and he's saying, "The hell I will." Give me your best sales pitch.
Don't swear and give it a try. If you haven't tried, you don't know. That's the only reason I went, because I hadn't tried it. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So you guys are teaching. How many people are you able to convince to come out for lessons these days?
0.
0. And any theories on why that is?
There's so much
going on.
Well, technology, so much communication through technology that we're sort of getting separated. Like
Are you becoming really old school? I mean, is that
Am I old school?
No. I mean, is the art form of square dancing becoming really old school?
It's becoming old school with the technology that we're into.
Right.
You can do so much on a computer. You can talk.
Yeah,
to
but
so
you
many
can't
people.
square dance on the computer, and it would be pretty.
But it's pretty hard to talk somebody into.
Right, I suppose getting off the computer
giving up
and
their
getting
social
out there.
life on a computer
Right,
or whatever.
Right.
To
So
actually
does that
physically-
mean it's not common to have young? I mean, what are what would be the youngest members square dancing?
Who did we teach? How old are Joel and they're in their late 20s. We had a couple this winter in Unity.
Right. See, I was always under the impression that this is what you did growing, in small towns, and that you would even do this.
14.
Yeah. 13.
13 or 14?
Yeah,
We had
we
one girl that
one
was
girl
13.
that really wanted to square dance.
She brought her parents, and they square danced, and then they moved way far away.
Right. And who here are the callers? Are any of you callers? I can see. Might as well just plant myself in front of Marvin and Sharon. So you guys call it. Now, how do you become a caller? Is there an art to calling? It would seem to me to be hard. I mean, you're responsible for the success of the evening in many ways, aren't you?
That's right.
Yeah. Quite a bit, yeah.
Right. And so, is there square dance calling school?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there really?
Yeah, yeah.
And
that's where I started. I went to a calling school.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Who did you learn from?
Lauren Smith from Calgary. Lauren and Barb Smith.
Wow. And so where is this calling school?
It was in Saskatchewan that year.
No kidding. And how long is the course?
5 days.
Wow.
And we have a dance 2 nights in that. Like the Tuesday we had a dance, and then the Thursday they had a dance that was open to, I guess their area or whatever. There were people came down from Edmonton, and well, I don't know. There was a big hall full of people for us to call to that when we were just starting. So
Were you nervous the first time you called?
Oh man,
you probably all have to get up there and try it.
Everybody has to take a turn, or a couple of turns.
Right. And are you on a microphone when you're calling?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about projecting your voice acoustically. You've got a microphone.
Yeah, I have a very quiet voice, so I got to have a microphone.
And did you screw up the first time you
called?
No.
No. Just walked in there professionally and never had any problems.
Right. It's amazing the power of this record button.
You might want to edit that.
I believe you. No, I believe you. Why would I? I completely believe you. Right. And there's a whole language around calling, right?
And that's what the dancing is. It's a whole new language. It's
right.
It's just words, but they mean something other than.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
they have their own meaning for the dancers.
You're calling out choreography, right?
Yeah.
And the choreography has names.
Yes.
Specific names.
Yes.
Right. And as a caller, do you have people coming up to you saying, "Well, that was rotten"? I mean, or could you please?
No, when it's rotten, they don't come up and tell me. I hear it from further away.
So what would make it? Oh, I see. But you told me don't swear.
Yeah, well, I just don't.
But no. So people say, I mean, in the middle of calling, people will not be happy with what's being called.
I've actually worked that pretty hard and got some people to do that.
And what would be a bad call, you guys? I mean, what would you constitute Marvin calling that would not be great?
It wasn't anybody here.
Beer mug chain.
Oh, the beer mug chain, yeah.
What's a beer mug chain?
Well, see, that's a whole new language.
A beer mug chain?
Yeah, there's a teacup chain that the ladies do, and then the complimentary, and they named it wrong. But anyhow, they called it a beer mug chain. And the men are the really active dancers. The ladies are a little more.
The ladies do the teacup, and the men do the.
Yeah, and so when it's the ladies, they're the very active dancers, and the men just stay in one position.
All right.
But when it's the men, they're the very active dancers, and the ladies stay at home position, and the men screw it up quite badly.
Oh, so are you saying it's the ladies that start complaining? Like
no. Oh, not the ladies.
No.
The ladies don't complain. I've never heard one of these ladies complain yet. Yeah. Not about anything.
Again, the power of the record button.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think you should ask Marvin the first song that he played and he called to. Okay,
what was the first song you called to, Marvin?
You mean the with Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna rain no more.
Okay, and what's so funny about that story? Is that a hard song to call?
I didn't think it was, but I guess it was. It was a pretty good deal.
A lot of people remembered it that when he'd been to the school. We still hear. Does Marvin still call that song? We say, yeah.
Oh, why is that song a challenge? Well, what makes one song easier to call than another?
Oh, they're all pretty much the same. Just it's the challenges for the dancers.
Right.
They have the challenge. The challenge is for them. They
Because you don't know what you're going to call. They don't know what you're going to call. Right?
I try to make it so that they know what I'm going to call.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So is every song called the same way?
No. Different calls in all the songs.
And who decides what? I mean, so is that where the artistry comes in? Each caller will call a song a particular way?
Each caller has their own style, yeah.
Okay, so what would be your favorite song to call? What's Marvin known for calling that everybody goes, oh, yes, this one we love?
Fisherman.
Fisherman?
Yeah. That's my signature song.
Right, okay. And what, because of the routine that you call?
It's a really fast dance.
Okay.
And I really love it.
Okay.
You should feel at home with that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Fisherman. Absolutely. Can I hear a little bit of the fisherman call? I mean, is it weird to call something without the music playing?
You'll think it is.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to find out if it's weird for you to do it. But what would?
Well, it would be something like 4 little ladies chain that ring to turn that girl and hear me sing. Join hands and circle left, go around. That's it. Ladies center the man sachet, circle the left, go around that way.
Okay,
and that's
so it's sort of sing-song when you're calling.
Oh, it's all
So is that the tune of the song that you're singing?
Well, I hope it sounded like it. In my head, it sounded like it.
And where's the accompaniment come from?
I just have records and a record player.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So there's nobody singing, it's just the band on the record?
And I sing.
Right, but I mean, there's nobody on the recording singing?
There's nobody singing.
It's just, right. And do you actually still spin records? Am I living in the land of vinyl here? Yeah?
I do, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
And is that pretty much standard practice? Do people usually spin records, or has modern technology hit?
We were just in Ottawa at the National Square Dance Festival. Mm-hmm. And out of, I don't remember, about 50 callers, there was 3 that were using records. Everybody else was on computer.
On computer even?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They'd have their laptop there and all the music on a laptop.
And were these seniors that were running the laptop?
Some,
people that,
some were pretty
that's
senior.
impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So these
And
weren't.
some were quite young.
Yeah. How did you end up going to the Nationals?
Well.
Is that a testament to how good you are?
No.
Okay.
It was.
We were representing Saskatchewan.
The whole province?
Yes.
How did you get chosen to do that?
Well,
we didn't say no. We ended up being president couple of the Saskatchewan Square Dance, or Saskatchewan Federation of Square and Round Dance, because we didn't say no.
Are you still?
Yes.
Okay, for our listeners, remind me who it is that I'm talking to.
Earl and Pat Campbell.
Right. Okay, so you're the president for the entire province.
Yes.
Wow, and how long have you been in that position?
About a year.
Year and a half.
Okay, and did you have to do something to earn that title, or did you just have to not say no? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is, do you have to be certain, do you have to have reached a level of proficiency?
No.
Each club sends representatives to the zone, which is part of the province.
There's 7 zones in the province.
Okay.
And then the zone sends representatives to the federation, which covers the whole province.
And that's you. That's what you guys were doing at the
Nationals. And then every 2 years, there's a new executive elected. From that group.
There were 6
couples.
6 couples from. Well, actually, there was 8 couples. We found out when we got to Ottawa that there was 2 more couples that we didn't know were going.
And how many attended the Nationals? Do you figure?
1,059.
Wow. And do you? Would that number dance?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There were a dozen different halls. There was square dancing, round dancing, contra, and
there was even wheelchair dancing in one room.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, so they do have a wheelchair dancing class.
Several different levels.
And do you have to call wheelchair dancing differently? I would, or other no.
Not for wheelchair dancing.
No.
But with horses, you can do square dancing on horseback.
There's square dancing on horseback?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, there's some calls that you can't use.
Because the horses don't like them?
They just need to. They took a vote and horses said no. They just need too much space to do some particular call.
I could just imagine the train wreck if you tried
Yeah,
some of
that's,
those.
yeah.
Well, they even
Wow.
have tractors square dancing on.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I saw it on TV not that long ago.
Square dancing on tractors? Didn't you even know that?
The little garden tractors. I saw the little garden tractors.
No, the one I saw was they had the old international 3-wheel, like with the narrow front wheels, so they turn real sharp, and they had them going. And
You guys have got to do that for Culture Day.
We don't all have tractors.
Bill Warrington's got a bunch on his property. I'm sure he'd be happy to loan you some. That's hysterical. I mean, doing it on. Have any of you done it on horses?
no,
No. That would be a real challenge. So when was the Nationals? When did you just get back?
It was in July, the 16th till the 19th.
All right. Has anyone else here gone to the Nationals? Must feel pretty good. Do they have provincials?
yeah, our provincial is connected to our annual meeting in November.
Okay.
So this year it's going to be hosted in Saskatchewan.
Oh, okay. And are they competitions or it's
No.
just provincials because you all get together?
Yeah.
Right. And are you going to go to that, Marvin? The provincials? You don't know yet? Have you called any of the provincials?
No.
Right.
Well, you called that.
You did here.
1 year.
Oh,
When we
yeah,
hosted
yeah.
it here.
You did? Well, that must be a big. How many people show up for the provincials?
Oh, 150. Usually the last few years it's been 140 to 160.
Right. I had no idea that it was that popular that they held nationals.
There was people from all over the world
Really?
that attend. Yeah, 4 ladies from Japan.
Wow. I wonder
That
how
came.
popular that is in Japan.
Apparently, they dance quite a
Isn't
bit.
that something?
Square dancing is called in English all over the world.
Really?
It's the English language.
So it doesn't matter what your native language is. The calls are all done in English. So
Thank God, eh, Marvin? Just think you'd have to go back and learn languages on top of it all. Anybody know the origins of square dancing? When it began and where?
Started in England.
Oh, it did.
There was a group from California that attended a national, and they demonstrated the beginning of square dancing in England, and demonstrated how a few dances on how it progressed over the years and changed.
Right.
We call our dancing today more modern square dancing, and it's quite different from what they performed.
Right,
certainly.
right. Yeah, I'm sure. But still, it has a form to it, which is so beautiful to watch. Square dancing, line dancing is also really beautiful to watch. Maybe all of you can speak to this. I'll go around the room. What is it that you really get from square dancing? What does it add to your quality of life? Apart from, obviously, the fitness part of square dancing, you got to be fit to be involved in it. It's great exercise. But what is it that keeps you coming back? What does it give you?
Family.
It gives you a sense of family? Yeah. It's a lot like when I was talking to the barbershop quartet, these young kids that belong to a barbershop quartet. No matter where they go in the world, to any of the barbershop quartet conferences and things, they're kin to each other. Even if they have never ever met, there's a commonality, a common language that they have amongst each other, which just makes them instant family. Is that the way it is with square dancing?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, get together, add a collar and some music, and you got a family.
Right. Anywhere in the world. Anyone in touch with anyone internationally?
We met somebody in Ottawa who had worked in this area. He lives presently in Amarillo, Texas. And when he saw our name tags, he said, "Oh, Saskatchewan, I need to talk to you."
Oh. Why?
So when we sat down and had a chance to talk, he'd been all over the world with his work and had worked in this area. Married a lady whose mother was our neighbor.
No, aunt.
Her aunt was our neighbor years ago.
Oh, right. Wow.
So, I mean, that's
What a coincidence.
all kinds of
Yeah, right.
coincidences like that. It's a small world.
What's your favorite, what do they call it, move? What's your favorite choreography? What's your favorite, when they call out something, what is it that you like to hear called out? Your fave. Or what are you best at?
He's really good at spin, chain, and exchange the gears.
Spin, change, and exchange the gears?
It reminds him of truck driving.
Okay. Are you good at it, or is that your nemesis?
I don't know.
Marvin seems to think you are. What's your specialty, Sharon?
Oh dear.
Or do you have one? Something that you something that you love when it gets called out. All of it.
All of it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I just love square dancing.
Okay. Edna, what's your favorite move?
Oh,
When do you get your groove on?
well, I don't dance anymore,
Uh-huh.
but
When you did?
I just liked it all.
You liked it all?
Yeah.
All of it. And it gives you a sense of family and
Oh, yeah.
obviously the exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It's kept you really active.
Yes, it did.
Whose favorite move is considered one of the hardest?
There are so many, it's hard to pick
Yeah.
one.
Really?
Like, how many mainstream moves are there? 48?
Yeah, something.
Somewhere in that?
48?
In mainstream. Then
Right.
you can go to plus, and then there's another level and another level. And these ladies from Japan dance mostly a challenge. And I haven't seen that.
Challenge? I wonder where they learned that.
In Japan.
Wow. So they're teaching things in Japan that you would not have seen here. That's amazing. I want to shift gears just for a second and go around because I always like to get a little bit of sound bites on. Oh, there's the names of the calls. Sound bites on what you all love about Saskatchewan. So let's start with Edna. Edna, what do you love about Saskatchewan?
It's home, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But what makes it home? Is it the people?
Yes.
Is it the terrain?
Well, the people, for sure.
Uh-huh. What is it about the people? They're the warmth?
They're just good.
They're just good people.
Yeah.
Hardy stock that have lived through some pretty rough times.
Yes.
And are strong.
That's right.
Right. Why do you love Saskatchewan? What is it about?
It's home.
It's home. And the people?
Yes.
Would you, is there anywhere else, if I said you can live anywhere else in the world, would you just be quite happy living here? I find that quite often. You as well?
Same.
Yeah. And is it the people? Is it the land? You love the wide open spaces?
Well, yes, but people.
The people.
Fellowship.
Right. You guys are awfully quiet over in this corner of the room. What is it that you love about Saskatchewan? You've probably traveled often. Have you?
I want to hear this.
He'll answer.
Nada. Okay, one of you've got to fess up.
It's home, I guess.
It's home, you guess. But you've traveled often, yeah? I
We've
get the sense
traveled a
you
lot.
have. Right, yeah. But you always come back here. There's a pull to Saskatchewan, I find. People are here because obviously because they love it. They're not being held here against their will.
Right.
But the people.
I'm not sure. No,
I'm going to have to do a relationship podcast. There's some stuff going on in Kindersley that needs to be explored. Right. No, but I mean, you love it, yeah? I mean, why are you staying here?
I've got so many friends that they make me feel like they love me.
Mm-hmm. And you love the farm life?
It's great.
Yeah, it's tough, huh?
Yeah. You can go any place you want.
Yeah. Yeah, but you've got to be strong. It's not an easy life, huh? Mother Nature can be.
Well, it's way better than living in the city.
Aha! You wouldn't take living in the city for anything.
No, I can't go where I want to go.
Right. Right. And you love the wide open spaces.
I do.
Right. What is it that you love about Saskatchewan?
Well, I've never lived anywhere else.
Have you traveled often?
Well, not very much, but a little bit.
Right.
But I do like the space. And when I moved to Rosetown 9 years ago, it took me a while to adjust to those neighbors being right there.
Oh, that
and
close.
Right there,
Yeah, I
and
guess
right
when
there.
you're on a farm, you
Yeah.
really you can keep your distance if you want to from your neighbors. You're not all right up against each other.
No.
Wow, Rosetown felt really.
It's home now.
Right, but
I
still.
had to work at it, though.
Right, but the province as a whole is always home.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Right, right. Eleanor, we already know what you love about Saskatchewan. We've heard. But how long, are you a relative newcomer to this group? Whirls and Twirls?
No, I belonged from the 90s until about a year ago.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, I'm very close to all of them.
How many of the folks sitting here who have kids, how many of their kids have you taught, do you figure?
I taught mine.
Okay, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4 parents.
Four parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can you all testify to the fact the record button's on, so I pretty much know the answer. To the fact that Eleanor was a good teacher?
Oh, good dog.
And she took grammar very seriously.
She took life seriously.
Eleanor took life seriously.
At school, yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, she had some pretty great teachers, too, that really, that taught her well and, inspired her to be a teacher, and that were also good English teachers.
Yes.
What do you love about Saskatchewan?
Everything.
Absolutely.
I've lived here all my life. And
Yeah. Have you traveled often?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Made a good living here, and so
What did you do for a living here?
farmed.
You did, as
We're all
well.
farmers' wives, most
Are
of us.
all of you farmers' wives?
Oh, my God.
Oh. But still, there's no other life like it. I mean, I grew up on the East Coast, but still, it just seems to me you are at the whim of Mother Nature at the best and worst of times, as far as the success of your livelihood from year to year. You must have all known years where it was just not working in your favor, where it was just not going to be, the crop was not going to be good. How do you stay strong during those kinds of times?
You square dance.
You square dance. There it is.
It's a cheap form of entertainment.
It's a cheap form of entertainment. It gets you outside of yourself. You probably park all your troubles at the door on your way in.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah, and then just check out and just have fun, and it's escapism. If you had a chance between watching television and square dancing, square dancing bar none. That's the secret to life. The secret to happiness is found in a calling. Marvin found his calling. Who'd have thought? That's fantastic. I think you're all to be commended for taking on something that is so gratifying. You know, we're living in a world where people sit behind, as you're saying, sit behind computers and sit behind closed doors. But you guys are out there. You're actually connecting and communicating with people. I hope that you have the opportunity to inspire younger generations at some point to join you, because what's going to happen to square dancing when you guys all decide that you're going to go to that great square dancing party in the sky? What's going to happen to square dancing in Kindersley? You've got to keep it going. You have a huge job ahead of you. Marvin, you've got to get out there and canvass door to door to all the husbands.
Well, square dancing was part of the 4-H movement in the 50s.
Right.
Probably the 60s, too. They had competitions between 4-H clubs.
Yeah.
It was part of it. And I think that that was a really good thing for youth, to get youth involved. But I don't know. We're still trying to save square dancing or promote it.
Right.
And I guess it's not lost, but maybe promote it for the future.
No, I'm telling you, I think you should do the tractor square dancing for Culture Days.
Well, that's a good. Thank you for mentioning that. Well, I'll certainly give that.
Or the
thought.
horse. I mean, something unique.
I don't know. We don't have enough horse people.
Right.
Yeah, horse riders here. Horseback riders.
Well,
but the tractor, small garden tractors.
There's a source of new dancers, maybe.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
find
that's,
somebody with a horse.
There you go.
Get them involved.
And that's, yeah.
but I don't suggest. I don't know much about square dancing, but it seems to me that combining horses and tractors might not be the best event. but the Japanese have probably already started that by now. They've probably been there, done that. Well, listen, I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing, and it's a great activity. If you have to get yourself into trouble and mischief between the hours of 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on a night, this is probably the best way you could do it, is to get out there and kick up some dust, square dancing. I'm really honored that you all took some time to get together, knowing how hard it is probably to get you together just for one of your annual meetings. Who knew that turning on a microphone would bring you all out? Thanks, everybody. You can all breathe now.
Thanks for listening. The SaskScapes podcast is created by Kevin Power as part of the Culture Days Animateur program operated by Sask Culture. Funding to the cultural sector is provided through the Saskatchewan Lotteries Trust Fund for Sports, Culture and Recreation. If you want to hear more of these podcasts, or to see the great work being done by other Sask Culture animateurs, please visit www.iheartculture.ca. Special thanks to Paved Arts in Saskatoon for their technical support. SaskScapes podcasts are also available through the iTunes Store. Music for SaskScapes is provided by Saskatchewan-born singer-songwriter Jeffrey Straker. There is no end to the stories to be told. So, until next time,